Good morning, dear children. Hope all are staying safe at home. Welcome you to another physics class from the chapter Light. Hope you have watched the previous modules. Today in this module, we'll be discussing structure of human eye, some of the defects of vision, and persistence of vision. So let us first start with human eye and its main parts.
We learnt that objects are visible because of the light getting reflected from their surfaces. This reflected light enters our eyes and we see that object. What happens inside the human eye when the light rays enter it? What is it that helps us see the things around us? The human eye is roughly spherical in shape. What we're going to do in this video is understand the different parts of the eye in short, not in extreme detail. Let's begin. The outer layer of the eye is called the cornea. It's white in color and transparent. Transparent? Yes, it means that it allows light to pass through it. It acts like a tough front wall of the eye. What is its function? It protects the interior of the eye from accidents and also does not allow foreign particles to enter the eye. Okay, so this was all about the outer layer of the eye. Let's now talk about the things present inside. Behind the cornea, there's a dark muscular structure called the iris. Iris determines the color of the eye. For instance, when we say that a person has blue eyes, it means that the color of the iris of the person's eye is blue. Now there is a small opening at the center of the iris for the light to enter. Do you know what it's called? It's called the pupil. The iris actually acts like a shutter of a camera. It controls the amount of light entering the eye by enlarging or shrinking and thereby adjusting the size of the pupil. For example, when you focus the light from the torch directly into a person's eye, the iris shrinks. This is because the intensity of light is too much for the eyes to bear. The shrinking iris stops the unwanted light from entering through the pupil. And when it's dark or when there's less light, it expands, allowing more light to enter through the pupil. Okay, what happens next? The light that enters through the pupil falls on the lens kept behind. The lens is a convex lens. What is a convex lens? Convex lens is a lens which is thicker at the center than the edges. It's a converging lens. That is, it focuses all the light at one point. In a normal regular eye, this point is somewhere here on this inner boundary called retina. Why do I say a normal eye? Well, in a defective eye, this point of focus may lie either in front of the retina or behind the retina. We will talk about this defect of eye in our future videos, but first, let's go back to our normal eye where light is focused on the retina. Retina is at the back of the eye and marks the inner layer of the eyeball. Retina contains lots of nerve cells that sense the light. The nerve cells are of two kinds, namely cones, which are sensitive to bright light, and rods, which are sensitive to dim light. The message or sensation is then transferred to the brain along the optic nerve. Okay, let's quickly recap what we learned about the human eye. Human eye has a roughly spherical shape. The outer part of an eye, called the cornea, is a thick white transparent wall which protects the eye from accidents and keeps the foreign particles from entering inside. Behind the cornea, the colorful part of the eye, called the iris, is present. It has a small opening at the center called pupil. Iris controls the light entering through the pupil by contracting and expanding. Behind the pupil, there is a converging lens which focuses the light on retina. Retina consists of two types of nerve cells, namely cones and rods. They transfer the message through the optic nerve. There is a lot of information to digest, so we will stop here and continue to learn more about the eye in the next lesson.
Children, hope you understood the parts of human eye. Sclerotic, The white outer coat of eye, it's tough and it protects the interior of the eye from accidents. Cornea, it's the transparent front part of the eye and it allows the light to enter into the eye. Iris, as you saw, it is a dark muscular structure which gives distinctive color to the eye and it controls the amount of light entering into the eye. Pupil, it's a small opening in the iris. The size of the pupil is controlled by the iris. Ciliary muscles, it's a ring of muscles which holds the lens in its position. These muscles control the focal length of the eye lens. Lens. Human eye has a double convex lens and it is made up of transparent tissues between pupil and retina, and the lens helps in focusing the light that passes through the pupil on the retina. Retina. The layer on the back of the eye is called the retina, and its function is to receive the optical image of the object and convert it into electrical pulses. As you saw, there are two types of nerve cells which are present on retina. They are cones and rods. Cones are sensitive to bright light and they sense color, whereas rods are sensitive to dim light. Now, the nerve that connects the eye to the brain, or which sends the electrical pulses of the image to the brain, is the optic nerve. Children, as you can see in the figure, at the junction of the optic nerve and the retina, there are no sensory cells. So, no vision is possible at that spot, and this is called as the blind spot. Children, now let us look into a very interesting phenomenon, persistence of vision. We know that in human eye, the lens focuses the light onto the retina, and the impression of an image that is formed on the retina does not vanish immediately. The image persists there for about 1/16th of a second. So, if still images of a moving object are flashed on the eye at the rate of, that means at a rate faster than 16 per second, then the eye perceives this object as moving. So, this phenomena is called as persistence of vision. Example, many examples. As one example, we can take it as Newton's disc. You know, the 7 colors painted on the disc, when it is rotated, it appears white. The movies that we see are actually a number of separate pictures in proper sequence. When they are made to move across the eye at the rate of 24 pictures per second, that means faster than 16 per second, we see them as a moving picture. So there are many and many examples of persistence of vision. So let us watch one of it. Let us now look into some of the defects of vision. You know, children, that eye is a very wonderful instrument And for normal eye, we can see the near objects and the distant objects very clearly. So the minimum distance to which we can see the objects very clearly, it varies with age. So the most comfortable distance at which a person or a normal eye can see an object is about 25 centimeter. So let us first discuss about short sight or myopia. The formation of the image in front of the retina results in a defect or a condition called myopia. So here the person suffering from myopia, he can see the nearby objects clearly but cannot see the distant objects so clearly. So this defect, it can be rectified by wearing spectacles with concave lens. Long sight or hypermetropia. So it's a defect in which the image is formed behind the retina, and the person suffering from this defect, he cannot see the nearby objects very clearly but can see the distant objects clearly. And this can be rectified by wearing spectacles with convex lens. Cataract. This is another defect of the eye, generally occurring at old age. So in a person suffering from cataract, the eye lens becomes cloudy, leading to loss of vision, or we can say his eyesight becomes foggy. Cataract can be treated by surgically removing the eye lens and inserting in its place a new artificial lens. You know, children, that the modern technology has made this procedure very simpler and safer. Hope children, you understood the topics that we discussed today, that is the parts of human eye, persistence of vision and cataract. Thank you and stay safe.